Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another NRW review video. That's right, another review for all our fans in internet land and beyond. I'm David Estacado. I'm here with my buddy from another nutty, probably from the left-hand side, the one and only Rob the Movie Guy. What's good, Rob?
What's going on, man? Thank you for the introduction. I'm doing well, and how are you doing so far?
Dude, I am hyped for this review. We've literally just finished watching this episode.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Let's just get into this shit.
Yeah, because there's a lot to cover here because we have been... It's like each episode just keeps getting crazier and crazier, but in a good way, too. It's nothing like just over-the-top stuff. It's a lot of layers to uncover here. So the overall plot of this episode here is trying to get Vought to be brought to justice here. They're trying to get some key witnesses here to tell all the... illegal acts that the boss they've been doing for the last couple of years and so on. So they had Lamplighter as a primary witness, and they were also trying to get Volgman, who was the guy that was actually raising Homelander, who appeared in the first season, and he also had a little appearance here and there in this season here.
It was surprising to see because I thought Homelander took care of him. You know what I mean? Like
I thought so too. Yeah.
It kind of like. I thought it kind of in a vague kind of way made it seem like Homelander just got rid of him.
Well, and we'll get into some of the details in the episode here, but I did notice something about Homelander's reaction when he sees him, but we'll get into that. But the overall story in this particular episode is that they're trying to expose Vought for its illegal activities here that they've been doing for a number of years. And that's where really shit hits the fan. But that's towards the end of the episode there. But we also got some other stories along the way here too. We actually get the introduction of Bill the Butcher's parents here. And I mentioned it to you before. There's a nice little reunion here, a little Lord of the Rings reunion with what's his name, Carl Urban and John Noble, who played the steward. I forgot the character's name because there's some of them are just hard to pronounce here, but he was a steward in the second film and the third film as well too. And I just thought that was a nice little nod to the fans out there who are fans of the film trilogy here. And the fact that he was playing his father, a dickish father at that, I thought that was a phenomenal choice in casting here. And we also get to see Homelander introduce Stormfront to his son, because there was a little scene that involved a little girl that looked like her daughter from 80 years ago, and she remembers the image.
This is the scene that Stormlander. Hey, there we go. There's the couple's name. Stormlander is they're at a rally together.
Yeah. We forgot to mention why that rally was happening in the first place here. So. I'm sorry. You go on.
No. Like you could tell, like they're getting that the people behind them, behind their cause, so to speak, of trying to get more soups being made, which is kind of like the whole reason why that whole, I want to say, facility that they raided in the previous episode was even in play, to try to get more soups made via adults. The kind of Vaught's little hidden little experiment they had going on there.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get some rally for that.
And I also wanted to bring up something that I forgot to mention that happened in the very beginning of the episode here, where there was a particular fan of Stormfront who is very much all for what she's saying, wanting to look out for these terrorists who are coming in, and they're coming from all different parts.
Protecting the American people and all that. And protecting America. And that's how the episode starts off, with this kid or whatever.
Well, he had a beard, so
buying into this propaganda.
Yeah.
And one night he's like, he picks up, I guess, cigarettes and snacks and stuff
at a convenience store. Yeah.
And he sees this guy's face light up, or his eyes light up, because of a car outside driving by. And the next day, he freaks out. The next day, he shoots the guy. So they're kind of
he has to be like of an Arab descent too, what it looks like, or a Pakistani.
He's a superhero or a soup. Or is he bulletproof and shoots the guy? It's crazy, and kind of very scary about some of the stuff that's going on as today. So it was a really relevant episode.
Yeah, and that was something that I thought was gonna be carried on throughout the entirety of the episode, but then it kind of just shifts into a whole different direction with a lot of stuff that we kind of brought up
Everything
here.
going on, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's, I guess you could almost say that the episode does a good job in setting up something that leads up to the events of the next set of things to come. And although to be honest with you, I kind of forgot about that intro there because of all the shit that started to unravel in this episode, and there's just so much to.
Yeah, I mean, you got the whole Starlight situation. Her mom trying to reconcile with her.
Oh yeah,
trying to work things out with her, where she stupidly lets Vaught know where she is.
Yeah.
So they both get kidnapped, which ends up leading to the other scene where after last week's episode, they have Lamplighter in I guess protective custody and trying to get him ready to
testify
against Vaught. Well, until all
right, so
she gets this phone call.
Yeah, so we because there's, so let's talk about that because Lamplighter is in one of the funniest scenes in this episode because Huey is left with the responsibility to keep an eye on him while everyone else kind of goes off and do their own thing in preparation for this hearing here. And after Mother's Milk, and I forgot the lady's name from the CIA. What's her name again? Do you recall? Mallory, I think, right?
Mallory, yeah.
Yeah, Mallory. Thank you. I don't know why I froze on the name, but anyway, so they're trying to convince Vogelbaum to participate in this hearing, and he's flat out refusing it. Then Mother's Milk, I believe, gets in contact with Butcher and say, "Hey, we need you to come in and convince this guy to do this here." And after this reunion he has with his parents, he comes over and pretty much threatens him. I'm going to kill your kids and I'm going to kill your grandkids. And the way that he does it, oh my God. Now, I'm not for this. So believe me, guys, I'm not for the violence here. But he was a fucking man in that scene. You really felt the threat, and you could see that boiling, him boiling up, just ready to do this here. And Vogelbaum just crumbled under that pressure there. And then we also get to see that Homelander reveals that Starlight was in fact a mole in the company there, and pretty much puts her out there as one of these potential terrorists that's participating in this whole thing. And he's obviously has it out for her, and he even goes as far as in telling Stormfront that they should have killed her, and he didn't want to underestimate her again because of what she's been able to escape from under his grasp here. So I thought that was also interesting, and then that leads into the events of Huey wanting to help her escape, and then we have the most interesting interactions of two insecure people, one insecure superhero and a very insecure human, if you will, and they're watching porn together, and they're having a conversation about who's the cuck in the relationship and how they view themselves in other people and themselves in relationship with other people in their lives, and they're definitely trying to but they're watching superhero porn parodies along the way of Homelander, Black Noir, just the whole 9 yards, and it's really hilarious when you watch it. But it's a weird scene to watch, but you understand both their backgrounds when they get into this conversation, and of course,
ironically enough, kind of helps Huey kind of drive the point home. Are you, you still have time to be a hero. Are you going to do the right thing or not?
And he uses that metaphor as you want to be the guy that fucks the wife, so you want to be the cuck. And he's like, gets up and walks. He's like, but with consent though, and that little nice Huey touch to it, I thought was pretty good. And then we see that, I don't know if you want to go in and get into this here, but
right. I want to talk a little bit about the little small interactions that just been really great throughout this episode.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot of characterization. It wasn't a lot of story. It feels like they're setting up for the next episode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I love and I dislike at the same time.
Yeah.
I love that there's getting some build up between Frenchie and Kimiko. They're finally kind of communicating a little bit. She's kind of showing them a little bit of sign language. She's kind of a little bit of background between him. You actually see Starlight kind of grow with her mother and with Huey during that moment, or during they get free, which is very like
Starlight's mom being the
awkward.
cock boxer that she was for
So
Huey.
awkward. And man, you get to see kind of the manipulation of Stormfront.
Okay, it is a manipulation. There's a
Homelander, so much
clear
going on
intention.
where Homelander's being a dick, but like Stormfront is kind of reining him in, but
Yeah,
still manipulating at the same time. There's lots of going on right there. And then the biggest fear that Becca has been kind of fearing was losing her son. And
yeah.
man, what a scene where like Homelander and
Stormfront.
kind of let it out of the bag. Like your mom's been lying to you. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, they show the whole compound of like where it's all gated and the neighbors are fake and the whole setup in the neighborhood they live in is all false. And man, did it work in their favor because now the kid hates his mom for lying to him. And I understand the point for her wanting to lie to her son to protect him, but
Keep him to becoming another Homelander. But
the
man,
problem is that and this is the part where I'm not I agree with him, but I don't agree with the approach that he takes. And I don't know if you want to delve into this here, but I believe that if the mom was straight up with him from the very beginning, maybe they wouldn't have had this issue from the first
yeah.
place.
But then again, she was being manipulated by Bot too. So I mean, it was like a catch-22.
Yeah, I see your point. I do agree with you on that too. But again, this is one of the situations where the fear of knowing the truth and what it could possibly do to, taint the person's, well-being or their good character or whatever the case may be, because all she's thinking about is I don't want my son to be like his father. But
At what
that's
cost? Because
yeah.
you may be causing him to become him in the actions that you're doing. So it really is a thin, fine line that
Yeah,
she.
and this is the part that I found interesting too, was that obviously where Homelander brings Stormfront into the picture here and wanting her to be a part of this superhero family, right? So the part that really I remember that really stuck out the most to me, which was I expected it to happen, but the way that it unraveled, which was the fact that Stormfront when I'm sorry Becca, when she was talking about my son needs his mom, and she's like, oh, don't worry, he'll have a mother. I'm like, god
Oh
damn,
yeah,
she was
all over
already
the
like
place.
intruding like that. And complete disregard for the mom, and because she obviously knew the mom's intentions, and she has this whole plan in place for her to follow through with in creating a world of superheroes that of white superheroes really, and her son, Homelander's son being the first real superhero born out of out of an experiment, pretty much. So the potential of what could come out of this here for her is just like, holy shit, this is what I've always dreamed of happening. That's where really things start to I would say, start to take a dark turn, because then I'm wondering now in this upcoming
What
episode what's going
influences
to
she'll
happen.
have on Ryan? Yeah. Can we just talk about Huey's freaking growth in this episode? Like my man went out of his way. Like usually he's the one who's like freaking out. We can't do this. We can't. And he takes initiative with Lamplighter to go and save the day, like the
Let's
save
add some
Starlight.
serious cost though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I wasn't expecting that turn with Lamplighter. It was quite what the fuck moment. And then to have Huey kind of, be quick on his feet. Like before, I don't think older Huey in the earlier season one would be believing what season two Huey's doing.
No.
But man, he really got his hands dirty, so to speak.
Yeah, he does.
To kind of get himself out of the situation that he did. And I'm proud of the guy. Like, holy shit, this is a new Huey.
Yeah.
Still bleeding on everything, going out of his way to put himself in danger to save Starlight.
Yeah, and we also get a nice little
Such a touching moment.
Yeah, and you see her react, like, she's obviously touched by his attempt to try to save her, and then also his saving her mother along the way too. I really actually felt for that, and this is actually the episode now where all the shit that I said about Huey in the beginning of the season here, I'm like, you know what? I like this guy. I mean, not that I said I didn't like him before, but I'm really starting to side with him more as the season progresses here, and that's to the testament of the writers here. And obviously, Jack Quaid playing the part of Hugh, he does a great job with that. But so we get that nice little reunion here, and then we end up getting to the part where which we almost left out, which was the confrontation that Starlight has with Black Noir when she first escapes. After Lamplighter sets himself on fire, she manages to escape. Huey ends up leaving the same spot that they happened to crash through the wall and fight when Black Noir was beating the shit out of Starlight. This is the part where I'm curious to see your perspective here, because since you've actually read a good majority of the comics here. In the comics, Black Noir is essentially a clone of Homelander. And here, when Maeve comes in to save Starlight, she lifts off the mask and it's a black man underneath there. So obviously that plot of the whole cloned Homelander doesn't seem to be taking place here. And I'm very curious to see the direction they're going to be taking that. And the funny thing too is that she Maeve puts in almond joy, I believe, right, in his mouth because he has a tree nut allergic reaction to this.
Actually, a real thing. The actor playing Black Noir actually has a tree nut allergy, and the writers actually wrote that in as an idea for the episode. I
find it kind of odd that a superhero has an allergic reaction to something. That's why, and I thought it was strange. I thought it was funny, but a little strange. And then he's trying to take the pills to counter the reaction to the nuts there, and she kicks it away. So we don't know what the outcome for him. I'm assuming he survives in some way.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But speaking of Maeve saving the day, like prior to this scene, she has like a breakdown because she saved the video and she even asked the Deep for the help for the black box of the plane that went down, and she saved the video as a way of using it against Homelander. But because she was in the video and everything that happened, her girlfriend saw it. It was like, you still were a part of it. Like, do you not feel guilty about it? And they went their separate ways.
Yeah. She ends up sleeping with guys too. And Ashley walks in. She's like, "This is not lesbian of you to do this here." And
like, really?
Yeah.
And she gets like, "Can you act like a freaking human being for once?" Yeah. Like, that was a hell of a line. It kind of like really, like.
Well, here's the thing. This is the episode where I actually feel. I always thought that Ashley, it was pretty much just a tool, and she's just part of the system. And this is what you get when you get somebody who's just created through the system, and it formulates that kind of image there. And she, in this particular episode, I felt for her because although she's trying to keep up with the company's image because she's trying to keep her job, but then the one moment when Maeve says, for once be human, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, Maeve," and then walks away. And then you find that moment in the courtroom where Homelander's asking where's Starlight. She's like, "She's off the grid." And he's like, "Fucking find her." And she's like, "Okay." This is where I really felt bad for the woman. But I was like, you know what? This poor lady, although she may be misguided in a lot of ways.
She's like being held captive by her job.
Right. And she's in fear of her life. Pretty much anytime Homelander's around, and even Stormfront too, I would imagine that once she's in the picture and she sees what's the bigger picture here, she's probably going to be shitting rocks left and right, because the idea that these guys can turn on her at any minute now, and there's nothing she can do about that. I'm assuming that I'm predicting here that if she survives, because she doesn't die in this episode, but if she were to survive, there's a possibility that they can probably the boys can try to coerce her into cooperating with them, inciting and having her reveal.
Which I feel coming, which I hope happens, because she needs a way out. And speaking of that courtroom and the holy fucking shit moment, shit hits the fan during this conference. So I love the ways how the writers set it up. All right, finally they're gonna get their due. The boys have won, and they slipped the rug from under us, man.
Yeah.
In a fantastic finale to the episode, it just leaves you wondering what the fuck. I don't want to spoil it. Let's just say it will blow your mind. It was ridiculous. And Homelander and Stormfront, I guess, look just as confused as everybody else. My assumption is that they're the ones involved.
I'm wondering if that's just an act, especially for Homelander. I believe may be genuinely surprised Stormfront, not so much.
Not so much, yeah. Because it was implied that Stormfront was the one who originally was, taking people out for VOD. So who knows? But just leaves the boys. Literally, the last saying was like, "What the fuck are we gonna do now? Like, what the fuck are they gonna do now?" There's only one episode left, and where the fuck they're gonna go with it, I have no idea.
Yeah, and the fact they've already announced season 3 and some new actors they're gonna be part of the season there. I'm extremely excited for this stuff, and however it ends.
Jason Eccles' characters already somewhat makes a cameo this episode. Actually, you get to see Soldier Boy in the beginning of the rally.
Oh yeah, with the statue. Yeah, You're right.
So
you're right. So I'm very curious to see how that's going to play out now. But one other thing we almost forgot to mention here was the fact
the party scene.
The what scene?
The party scene, the birthday scene.
Yes.
And the Deep.
Yes, that's what I want to get. Sorry. Yeah. So this is the Deep, man. Man, you're giving Aquaman a really bad name there because that dude,
he's so wishy-washy. Like
he flip-flops
he has
a lot.
No security in himself. He flip-flops a lot.
And this is the part where the church it starts to show its true colors because the head of the church, I forget the guy's name, but anyways, he is conversing with the Deep and A-Train and some other people, and he brings up the guy who first introduced the Deep into the church. I forgot the guy's name who plays the Hawkeye type character, and he's telling him, that's his name for the sake of this the review. His name is Hawkeye. He says, this guy Hawkeye. He's like, oh yeah, great guy. He's a fantastic man. I really like him a lot. He's like, no, he's a traitor to the church. He's like, and goes like, yeah, I always felt he was kind of a dick. He was a bit of an asshole. So it just instantly changes. And the influence the church has over this man, clearly you can see that he has no...
Archer, by the way.
What was his name?
Equal the Archer.
Okay, Archer. So anyways, my apologies to the actor. But the point is that this is where you get to see where the Deep has no loyalty to anyone. He's only looking out for himself because he's never had the development to look out for the best interests of other people. He's always looking out for himself, and the church is clearly manipulated. He's like the perfect candidate that they're looking for to do whatever that they're out to do here. And they even go as far in the episode 2 where they reveal that Archer was saying, hey, listen, they're just saying all these things about me because they asked me to stop communicating with my mother. I'm assuming because of the fact that she's not part of the church. And I refuse to do it. And because of that, now they are saying all these things about me, which aren't true. And then there's this video about how he was banging some other hero dressed in a donkey suit or something like that. I can't remember the whole details, but
they're trying to so he was hunting him and mounted him type of. So they're trying to discredit him,
right?
And it kind of goes to show that they have more of a pull than they show. Trying to if you're gonna go against it, we're gonna discredit you.
Right.
Kind of in parallel with what you've been saying in previous episodes or reviews, it kind of reflects more kind of like the Church of Scientology.
Right. So and then there's a one scene in that part of this episode too where they're at a bar after the party and you can still see that Deep is still pretty much like, man, that guy's it's an asshole. He's like, wasn't he? And Adrian's like, wasn't he your friend? And he completely disregards him and said, "Hey, bartender, can you change the channel? The court hearing is going to start soon."
Sorry,
and you're like, "Wow,
that's A-Train. Even A-Train, I don't think he's 100% in because he's just kind of like, "What the fuck is going on?" And that's one thing. That's the only 2 scenes you get from this episode, and I wanted to see more.
Same.
That was it.
Yeah.
So that's like the only real negative I wanted to have about this episode was just like, I want to see where that storyline is going. With A-Train and the Deep, and if Deep's going to find out what the hell's going to go on, or he's going to be head of the church. Because I have a feeling that something tells me he's going to somehow become the head of the church. But the side story with that is the fact that the head of the church, Alistair is talking with Stan Edgar regarding to putting them back, or just some talk between the two of them regarding to see if they could get A-Train or the Deep back. I think he's just saying that. I don't believe that, but the fact that there might be connections to VOD, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I wonder how full of shit he is, though. But the
Yeah.
fact that the Deep is so stupid that he believes anything that's being told to him, and he just cooperates without questioning anything, and he still carries that, like the whole, like that scene we got there where he's like, that guy's an asshole, but he was your friend, and just disregards the entire comment.
Yeah.
So, I think you probably have a good point there, though, that the Deep may be somewhere down the line be running the church here, and
I don't just some sheer luck and stupidity, but so it'd be a great way to go with that story. Um, Man, this episode had so much going for it. And freaking Butcher showing how Butcher he can be, and really kind of giving it to
Vagabond.
Vogelbaum was fantastic. It was a fantastic scene. Lots of great scenes this episode. Probably one of the best. I know we say that almost every video. Left me a little weak with some of the other stuff because like I said, it wasn't as story driven as the previous episodes have been, because I think they're kind of tying it in. It seems like they're splitting the last two episodes as one big episode is what it feels like. And I think if we want anything more, we have to watch next week, unfortunately.
Well, I'm excited. I'll be honest with you. I hope with season 3, when they finally go into production and they release it, hopefully by next year, I really hope they don't do the one week episode type of thing. I really want them to drop it all at once and we can just crunch right through that. But this is the reason why we are excited for this stuff here, because you have the anticipation for the next episode. So it is.
And it works. Such a what the fuck moment too. Yeah. I can't wait till the next episode drops. But overall, it was a great damn episode.
This whole season, really, man, so far,
fucking rocking it, man.
It's been so good that I said it before and I'll say it again. This is by far one of the best superhero shows I have ever seen in my life. That first season was fucking amazing. The way that it ended in that first season blew me away. And then you have season 2 so far, and each episode keeps getting better and better and better. And this is a testament to the guys who are on behind the scenes and getting getting the show made here. They really know what they're doing when it comes to storytelling here, and they get the right.
Like every episode has that one what the fuck moment in it. Like every single episode has that holy shit moment, and then this one had like multiple. So what's going to happen the next one? I don't know, man.
And this season so far, you're seeing actors who you're accustomed to seeing in other type of roles, and here they're really pushing the boundaries here of what they can do. Like Shawn Ashmore here, watching porn parody, he's like, I love this shit, and Huey's like, no, it's unhealthy. He's like, no, it's not. It's healthy, whatever. But then you also have that emotional aspect of him too, where you really connect with the character, and then his demise, I didn't like it, but I understood why he did it, because you had that enough time to spend with him to see why he did what he did. I wasn't for it, but I wasn't. It didn't take me out of the episode by any means. But the fact we have what's his name, Jensen Ackles, is that the actor's name?
Jensen Ackles, yeah.
Yeah, right. I can't wait to see what he does for season 3, because I mean, again, we're used to seeing him in roles like from Supernatural, which that just ended not too long ago.
Which and we're gonna fantastic, by the way.
I've not checked it out, but I don't know if I want to sit through 15 seasons.
Come on.
I don't know if I will ever get to it, but what I'm saying is that what I've seen, the very little that I have seen very little of it. I thought he was fine. I'm not saying he was a terrible actor. I just thought he was fine. But from the little I did see of the show, and then what he's going to be doing in this upcoming season here, I am so hyped for this here, because I can't wait to see what he's able to pull off. Seeing a whole different turn of character here for him, and seeing something we're not used to see him do here. And I think this show does a great job in showcasing a lot of these actors' abilities of what they can do and how far they're willing to go to do the show justice. Yeah. Exactly. And we can go on and on about the show.
Yeah, we can, but I think that's our views for this episode, at least. If you want to get our predictions for season 3, keep watching, because we're going to have one more episode here left next week, which we'll be getting to as soon as that comes out. But if you like what Rob and I are doing, please stick around, hit that like, subscribe button, and watch what else we do. And where else can they follow us, Rob?
Well, you can follow us on our social media accounts. We have a Facebook and Instagram page at New Release Wednesdays, and on Twitter at the NRW. And you can follow myself on my social media accounts on Instagram, Rob_Medina0585, and on Twitter, RobMedina0585, and on Facebook, simply just Rob the Movie Guy. Yeah. And my buddy from another nutty over there, where can they follow you, sir?
You can follow me on my Twitter and on Instagram at Damon is Disaster, and you can follow me on our personal Facebook page on Damon A.S. Ticado, where I kind of bug Rob every now and then, post random memes regarding pop culture, indie wrestling, video games, and more. Like I said, guys, please, we see that our numbers are rising up. We do appreciate everything that you guys are doing.
Yeah.
All the fans. We do this for you and our love of pop culture. We love talking about this kind of stuff. This is definitely our jam. So please come back. If you like what Rob and I are doing, always come back to check out what the rest of the crew is doing. We got everybody, video games, movies, comic books, and more, and any other shows that Rob and I can't get into. Because trust me, Rob and I wish we can get to everything that comes out, but we can't. So the rest of the crew picks up where we can't get into, and they're doing an amazing job. Right now we have Patrick Michael Strange and his boy doing the reviews for Raised by Wolves, which is fantastic. Check that out. And a bunch of other stuff coming down the pipeline. And you can only get it here at NRW.
Yeah, and they also just dropped a review here recently for Charm City Kings, an HBO Max film that's going to be coming out real soon. And we have Ginny Mac back in the fold as well too, from Level Up Comedy. So be sure to check out that video as well, because they really go in deep for that review and share their thoughts. And I really highly suggest you guys give it a watch, because they really are showing their passion for this for this video here. So check it out and share some love here, and be sure to spread the word that is New Release Wednesday, because we really are working hard to try to get our numbers up here. But we're doing it really because we love doing this here. We have a passion for this here, and we want to keep going for forever pretty much here. But overall, guys, we thank you for your time, and we thank you for the subscriptions here, and we thank you for helping us out to bring our numbers up here. And anything you guys want us to check out here, please put in the comment section below. We will be looking out for that stuff. And if you want us to review it, we will watch it, and we will give our thoughts on that here. All right, guys, and until next time, thank you very much for checking out this video here. You guys have a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, whatever part of the day you watch us here. Have a wonderful day. You guys be safe out there, and cheers.
Cheers.
No, we can't.